Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine.
Hey, welcome to Love the Way You Live with Charlie Lewis. We are back here. First episode for season 2. We're going to talk about my trip to Tokyo, Japan.
Tokyo, Japan.
And how it was a 3-parter.
Okay.
I went to Tokyo, and I also went to Vietnam, and I also did China, Hong Kong.
You were doing the doggone thing.
Hello, Vietnam.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam.
I like hello.
Konnichiwa.
We got wine going on in the studio.
Konnichiwa.
That was the black version.
I know,
Hello,
right?
Vietnam.
Hello,
What's up?
So anyway, I have Andrea Allen in the house today,
Hello.
and along with Archie Allen.
That's me.
And my studio guests, Val and Angie.
On the Love the Way You Live couch.
Yes.
Y'all gonna get some therapy over there too.
Yes.
You know we give out free therapy.
We do. We go there. We want to make sure everybody continue to be on this journey of loving the way they live for themselves and not
absolutely.
living for nobody else.
No.
So Andrea is gonna be here today, and she's gonna talk me through our Japan tour, my Japanese tour.
Yeah.
Of Tokyo and all the things that I did that was exciting and inspiring, because I totally was in awe myself. Tokyo being 38 million people, but it was kind of like an organized chaos city. It's very orderly, to say the least.
With 38 million people.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing is, there is a, is a culture. I think it goes with their culture. What I felt was a sense of peace when I got there. It was not the bustle of New York. It was not the aggressiveness of New York. People wait. People stand in line for the trains. They stand in line. They wait in a queue, and they're orderly, and they're not aggressive with it. So I can only imagine 38 million people in New York. And I see that happening now because New York is growing. And since I've been there for the last 22 years, I've seen the growth in New York. And I can just tell how the number of people coming to the city is just impacting the daily life and stress of individuals. But you don't feel that in Tokyo.
That's interesting. Because when you're in New York, it's all about you got to get there.
Right.
Time is money. Money is time. Everybody is moving.
Right.
They're knocking on each other. I mean, there's so when I think of 38 million people, how in the world is that orderly and organized without it being loud? And you don't hear the honks of the cars.
I was
Well,
there.
think about the culture.
Yeah.
The culture of Asia and Japan is so much different. I mean, it's about honor. It's about respect.
But that's different countries. And there was a difference when I went to Japan versus Vietnam versus China and Hong Kong, which we call China Light. China Light, because Hong Kong is not like the mainland, really.
Interesting.
But for Tokyo, I think it goes back to the culture that, Tokyo basically invented the supply chain system of automaking. And a lot of people that out there in the podcast world, they'll know, if you worked at GM and how they did plant production was one way, but then how Toyota and Nissan did it. All the case studies told you how supply chain management came into play. So it really goes into the culture too. Now, they are, from what I gather and talking to people there, and I don't know the language, but I learned it, and I have Google Translate. And so anything that you needed to know, I would just put it into Google Translate, and then I would try my best to speak Japanese. So Konnichiwa was.
That's all I got is Konnichiwa.
I got that. And with a big Charlie Lewis smile on his face, I got everything I needed to get while I was there.
Where can I get a margarita?
Yes, exactly.
Konnichiwa.
But everything is organized. I mean, from the subway, if you put in your location in Google Map, it tells you their station are so big. They have 2 of the world's largest train stations, Shibuya Station and Shinjuku Station are the largest train stations in the world. They make Penn Station and Grand Central Station look like little babies. Yeah, they dwarf in comparison. It's like 4, 5, 10 times larger. And so they have like 50 to 60 exits. But the way they have it organized in a way of exit A, B, C, D, E, F. So when you put it into your map of where you're going in your location, it'll tell you exactly where to enter, where to exit, so you're not walking all over the station lost.
Wow.
And so that is how you can get through, and everybody is on the train. But it's not even just that. I mean, it's how they walk the streets, how they carry themselves, how I felt like a human for the first time going in a shopping in a store and being waited on and not even followed in the store. People even left me in the store to shop, and then they came out and respected that I was honest and that I would pay for whatever merchandise I had. And
Interesting.
So it almost made me feel uncomfortable in a way, because
we don't get that in America.
You are so used to people following you, and stuff like that.
Well, let's back up and talk about how you even got there.
Yeah.
So Asia, as I mentioned, that's not a continent. It's not a continent that I've ever thought about going to.
Yeah, and it wasn't on my radar.
It wasn't on my bucket list. And I'm like, it's okay if I just watch it on TV, on National Geographic or AMC or some special documentary. I'm cool with that, and I feel like I've been there. But now I really want to go because of your experience.
Yeah, I think what got me interested in Asia was I had a week planned for Vietnam, and I was supposed to go to Vietnam for the week. And so when I was booking my trip, Tokyo was a layover before I got to Vietnam. So I was like, well, if I'm flying 14 hours, I might as well see Tokyo.
Let it make it worth my while.
Yeah, and so then when I was getting ready to book my trip on my way back, I had to go through Hong Kong. So I was like, well, I might as well stop through Hong Kong. So that's how it came together and became this thing for me to do a 2-week excursion. Because I think a lot of African Americans, you might go to Tokyo, but then you might fly back. And if you go into Tokyo, you're either in the music business or you're in the fashion business. And that's what gets a lot of people going to Tokyo. So I think with that being said, what I realized of the 3 countries, Tokyo has a soul. There's a certain soul about Tokyo that is different from other places that I went on this tour.
Now, when you say soul, you mean from the, just
from
spirit standpoint?
Just the sampling, just the energy of even the people. They really understood African American black culture.
Really?
They study us. They do more work on us than we probably do on ourselves.
Give me an example.
Like the music scene.
Okay.
The music scene is, oh my God. I mean, they still have Tower Records.
Wow.
I saw that.
Tower Records back in the day.
Tokyo still has Tower Records. 8 stories of Tower Records. Vinyl. They have concerts going on in Tower Records. They had every hip hop CD that you wanted.
Back in the day, Friday night.
You know it. But
that was a date.
That was a thing.
Tower Records.
But you Saturday, the ritual was, you used to go to Tower on Saturday.
Yes.
You listen to everything, because on Tuesday they dropped the album. And that's when you knew you would do it. And it was a thing.
Yeah.
But now you just get music through streaming and whatever the case may be. But they had underground sounds. They have music.
So they're keeping literally old school alive.
They really are.
Yeah.
And they really are in tune with it. And it's not in a way where they are trying to emulate us. They are studying us, and they're putting their own twist and swag on it. And they have their own style, which I really love from a fashion sense. That whole Japanese layered look. It's free flowing. It's not, tight on the skin. It's just layers. It's microchromatic. So you can pair it up and do big things with it. So that's what I loved about the whole energy.
Well,
of Tokyo.
Another thing that you've been showing a lot on your Instagram has been the food. The food has been off the chain. I mean, just looking at it makes me want to go just so I can eat. I'm just saying.
Look,
I want to eat my way through Tokyo.
Here you go. Think about it. Okay, so from a lot of Japanese restaurants here in America, a lot of people tell you, what do I know? I know tempura. I know sushi.
I know a California roll.
I know some California rolls. I know some teriyaki.
Ginger. And some ramen.
Right, some ramen.
That's it.
Right.
And some kebabs.
Now you had eel.
Yeah, of course. Well, you have eel here too. I mean,
Well,
but I don't eat that.
See,
Okay,
my
so
palate is not that expensive.
but
I have not had eel.
Okay, so this is the thing. when I got there, my first point of where I wanted to go to the Tokyo Fish Market, which is legendary. However, it closed in October. I was there in November. It closed in October. They moved it to another location, so that totally was off my beaten path of where I wanted to go, because I wanted to go see 4:30 in the morning. They have the auction. It's the fresh fish auction, and they do all the tunas and everything that they cut up and they catch. So from 4:30 to 9:30, that's when they have the live auction in Tokyo, and then they cut it up. All the restaurants are there. They're buying the food. They're buying the fish, and then they ship it all over the country.
Wow.
The port in Tokyo is enormous. You got ships coming in and out everywhere. You're sitting, really, it's a peninsula.
Yeah.
You're sitting in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
It makes Chelsea Market in New York look like what? Kids play.
Well, all of it. I mean, the fish market itself had a place where you can dine, where you can eat, and then you can also watch the auction, but then you could get fresh food, and they have restaurants and stuff like that. So they moved that to another place closer on the bay, which is very hard to get to, but you can still get there, but it's just an obstacle of doing that. And that just pulled me too much out of my way, and I just didn't even want to go see that. So I was just like, okay. But the thing about Tokyo is everything is centered around food. So when you're walking down the street, they have restaurants everywhere. Everybody is eating. Think about it. You got 38 million people. And you're trying to feed 38 million people. So it is one delicate, they have food everywhere. Yeah. And you smell it everywhere. So time you get off the train, they have food in the train stations, in the subway systems, in every train system that you can go. You go to the vending machine, they have the food in the vending machine.
Not a vending machine.
Yes, you order what you want, then you go stand in queue, and then they are preparing it fresh for you, and then boom, it's right there. The vending machine is a sample, of course. Okay. But it lets you know exactly how efficient everything is. And so it moves that way. But the biggest thing is the department stores.
So like a fashion store,
like a Saks Fifth Avenue, like a Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom.
Tiffany, you're going in there.
You going into the store, always in the basement. They have probably either one or two levels. The first level might be all the wines and the sakes and the beers. So they have a big beer scene. Sapporo, Korin, Asahi. Those are the brands that a lot of Americans know. Now they're really shifting into a craft beer.
Craft beer is it's hitting the world.
Starting to hit. So I did that when I was in Dakayama. I went to the whole market. Wow. There was called Silver Brewery. Had pizza, which is another thing we can talk about. It's another big thing that they started to do in Tokyo, in Japan. Is the pizza scene.
See, I wouldn't even think about pizza.
Yeah, it's so everybody's thinking it's Tokyo. It's all sushi. It's all fish. It's all that. Well, it's Tokyo. The thing about the Japanese, they want the best of everything. Yeah, so they have the best stores from America. They have the best stores from Europe. They have the best stores from Africa, from Australia. From every country, there is one store in Tokyo.
Is there a Popeyes in Tokyo?
It's a Popeyes.
You lying?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay.
Fried chicken, all
of that stuff.
And I bet you the chicken tastes better.
It always does.
It tastes better.
There's one thing that people don't know. You can't get a fried apple pie in America.
You mean from like McDonald's from back in the day?
Not anymore.
Not anymore in America. They only do fried apple pies in Europe.
You know what?
And Asia.
We're going to Asia just to get the old school fried apple pie. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
The old school fried apple when it's all crispy and hot and you open it up and it oozes out.
Yes.
Okay.
My girl Yolanda helped me to that.
I'm going to Asia just to get that. McDonald's needs to bring back the apple pie. Because that one they have now, the natural one, is just not hitting it. I'm sorry, Mickey D's.
But that's America trying to be fresh. But it's funny.
I want the oil.
Look, you need the oil. You need it all.
I need the crisp.
But the thing is, the diet of the Japanese and they go fresh every day. Every day you go to the department store and you order your lunch or your dinner, and everything is fresh. And it's not even just that, but everything in Tokyo is about how presentation. So it's how they package it. So I got a strawberry, it's almost like a strawberry tart with a nice cream.
Kind of like a parfait.
Almost like a parfait. And then I had some spring rolls and stuff like that were cold spring rolls. And then I had another item. When I unpackaged my lunch, when I went outside, unpacked my lunch, I didn't even realize it, that they had put it in dry ice.
Oh, my goodness.
So even just the way they present it to you and the way they save it, and they know you're taking it home, you might be on a train with it, that they don't want it to go bad.
Wow.
Their presentation is everything.
That makes you really feel special.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Everything, no matter where you go. And then the second thing is 7-Elevens is the go-to place for good food.
What?
You would never go to a 7-Eleven there and get a
We don't
hot
even have
dog,
very many of them
pizza,
here.
We don't
Yeah.
have 7-Eleven here.
No.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even. It's not
I think
even
there's maybe one.
Yeah, but just think of just a regular bodega.
Yeah.
You know, their regular 7-Eleven, their stores have fresh noodles, fresh sushi, fresh spring rolls, anything.
So
that
this
you
is
can just
this is
meal.
not the 7-Eleven at 39th and 8th Avenue.
No. It's not the 7-Eleven.
Where Tyrone
right.
Kenya
And
rolled
and all
into,
them.
yeah.
No.
'Cause I got a contact time. We were just in New York and went to the 7-Eleven 39th and 8th. I almost got a contact tie up in there.
But Tokyo is not. Tokyo is. I mean, the food scene is.
Well, I thought it was interesting that you said that they want the best of everything from America or other countries.
Yeah.
And in one of your Instagram videos, Garrett's Popcorn. Now, everybody knows Garrett's from
Right,
Chicago.
right.
And the lines were just as long in Tokyo as they are in Chicago.
Well, you got 38 million people.
38 million people. But I mean, that's amazing to see that. I mean, there's a sense of a connection to your own homeland in another country.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, and you've got 38 million different tastes and just
culinary palates.
Yeah, and then you
got to cater to that.
Right, and you got a youth culture that is getting away from traditional nationalistic thinking. And so that's what's also pulling it as well.
Yeah.
But they love the shopping. Oh my God. I ain't even talking about shopping.
Well, let me ask you, what did you, what's your takeaway when you think back on just that part of Asia in Tokyo? What did you learn from the people there?
Well, I think what made me feel so at home was when I first arrived and I left my wallet at currency exchange. And I didn't realize it, and I went down the escalator, heading toward the train, but then I stopped off, and next thing I know, I hear somebody say, Mr. Lewis. And I walked over, and they turned around, and they presented me with my wallet just like I was getting presented a meal.
Wow.
And it was two men, and they presented my wallet, everything intact, and that's when I knew, I was like, okay, this is the place I can live. People are honest, you know, they came after me.
Wow.
Nothing was missing.
How many minutes have gone by?
5 minutes.
Okay. Enough to be worried, though, when you find out
But I didn't even know I didn't have my wallet yet
Mm-hmm.
at that point in time. I was getting ready to get on the train.
Okay.
I had my ticket out and everything. I had just too much. I was ready to get to the hotel to put all this stuff down.
Right.
At first, I thought you were going to tell me that they presented to me like a meal. I was like, did they put some extra money in there?
No. I wish they had. But I mean, everything is so efficient.
But that was
that was the first
that
thing
was a
that
big
I noticed.
impression.
Yeah, that was, and how clean it is.
Yeah.
You can eat off the streets of Tokyo like any.
How is
I
that
heard
with
of it.
38 million people? That just seems
It's
to be
just everything. People are really prideful about their country. They have so much pride in everything. I was the one when I was leaving Tokyo to go through the airport, to go through the subway, and the woman told me, go through exit 5. And so I was trying to go through exit 5, but the gate didn't let me go through. And everybody who was coming out was looking at me like, no, you cannot do that. You are going against the law. That is illegal. You cannot go against the exit.
Wow.
I was like, well, she told me, you know, and I was looking at them and they were looking at me. And I was like, what's going on? And they were like, you can't go through there. And I was just like, but she told me I could.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they really, you cannot get away with doing roguish.
You have to conform or
you
die.
got to conform with you got to fall in with those 38 million. That's the only way because it would be mad hysteria if you got 38 million people on the island and in a city in a small space like you do in New York. You know, I heard only one horn being honked on a Saturday when I was there, and I was there 4.5 days.
So with so many people though, like New York is loud. You talk about the horns. You got people just the hustle and the bustle. Was it loud?
It was not loud.
Is it loud?
It was just the
city?
energy was different because you were, first of all, like I said, it's so much going on. You got so many people. So the action, the energy, the food, you always feel like you're hungry. You need to stop and get something to eat. I'm hungry. I'm not hungry.
Like,
I'm
how many
just
meals
smelling
do
the
you think
food.
you had, like, in a day?
Well, I eat small portions, and that's the good part about it.
Yeah.
You know, you can eat a noodle, and then you can walk away, and then you can get a spring roll. Then you can leave that, and you can get some ramen. Then you can leave that. If you want a meal, you can do that. Then I went into the sushi place where you have the sushi going around on the carousel, and you pick that. I want that, you know, and then I want that. And then you sell it up based on the plate that you have at the end of the meal.
So it's like a la carte all the way.
A la carte all the way. And you
Wow.
can just pull down and get you a beer.
Go get a ticket to go to Tokyo.
I'm
You better
telling
get a
you.
ticket.
Like,
Get a
we're all
ticket.
like, Tokyo. Girls trip to Tokyo.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
Well, let me ask you, like, you mentioned about how they presented your wallet to you and how that made a really great impression. Talk about the racial. Is there a racial divide there when, as someone from another country, and of course being African American?
Yeah,
did you
that's
ever
separate, yeah.
feel as if they're looking at me because I'm black?
Because you
No,
got the separate. You got the issue of
sometimes
being an American,
Right.
and also being
You know what I'm talking about?
African American.
Yeah, you know where to go, and
right.
where not to go.
Duality.
I'll tell you. I was in Shibuya. I was in Shinjuku, and I was in.
You better be knowing your places.
Yes,
Because I'm like,
but those are two largest neighborhoods
Okay.
with energy, shopping, culture, the museums, and everything. I always like to go to a museum when I go to a place because it really sets the tone.
Yes.
For the space that you're going to. So when I was in Shibuya is LA-ish with the homes, with the tuck away, kind of remind me of Hollywood Hills, a little bit of Merck Park, Baldwin Hills, bungalow homes, but tighter.
Tight. Yeah, okay.
And then when I was in Shinjuku, more New York in a way, more lights, bars. You will get lost in Tokyo if you don't look up because they have 6 or 7 businesses in one little small building. And so you really have to look at the signs and you really have to pay attention. Everybody's on their phone looking at Google Maps because I don't care if you live there,
You're still trying to
figure out where to go because and then Wi-Fi is just, that's a given.
Yeah.
You know.
Talk
Do
about.
they have public Wi-Fi there?
Oh yeah, public
Just
Wi-Fi on
like
the train. You on the
okay.
train, you got Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You're never without Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi everywhere you go is automatic. It's free.
You're connected.
You ain't even got to worry about saying, "Give me my Wi-Fi code." All
Right.
of that.
You're not trying to go to Starbucks and be like, "What's the code?"
Right,
or you're staying at the hotel.
None
What's
of
the
that.
code?
Yeah,
what's
the-
your room number?
No.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
know you need information.
Yeah.
They're giving it to you. So
Interesting.
they like serve the people, you know, and it's about making things easy and taking stress off your life. Now, what you also asked me, and let's go back to that because
The
you
whole
asked me
racial component.
about not the racial component, but also too how did I feel about Tokyo?
Yeah.
The energy there is very calming, and so I feel as though I'm a person that has done the work on myself to really just love the way I live, and so it felt right for me. I felt home. I felt at peace. It was a zen. It was calming to be with 38 million people, but I never felt that.
People were looking at you.
Yeah,
because
or whatever. I just never felt watched. I never felt just like swallowed up by 38 million people.
Well, see, I think
felt
that's-
like I was
That's
in a,
because he was out there getting those $12 massages.
no, that was Vietnam. That was Vietnam. No. Tokyo had a totally different energy. It was Vietnam is a different energy from Tokyo. But Tokyo just had a calm, soothing. Everybody does well.
wow.
There's you ain't seen beggars on the street. You're not seeing handlers. You're not seeing drug addicts coming at you. All of that. They do very well with taking care of their health. Wellness is key. Their programs. People in Japan do extremely. They live a good life.
So what about the
But
okay.
There's a but.
Oh, there's always a but.
They are still stuck. They might have. They think they have the highest productivity, but Italy has the highest productivity.
Okay.
Because Italy does a siesta. You work.
You work a couple of
go to
hours and you
work,
take a break.
You take that 3-hour
You be
break,
like,
and then you go back to work.
let's take a
and
wine
you're
break.
done.
Right.
Exactly. But in Tokyo, they voted not to run the subway for 24 hours because they can't say no. to their bosses.
Interesting.
They will work 16, 17 hours. So they have a high rate of suicide. They are repressed, some of them. You can see it, but then you see it from the youth culture where they're breaking away from that. So they kind of have an old breaking away from the old norms, going into the new era of how they see things and how they're approaching life. Because I think they're really trying to love the way they live in a different way. And so they see how other people are living around the world. Technology is a big... That technology, when you can Google and be in the backyard of somebody's home and look at somebody and Google and just fall down and be in it and see how people are living today, it changes your mentality. So when young kids who are now all into technology and all of that, that makes it totally different. So that's what they're into.
So what about the real estate there? With you being a real estate guru in New York and beyond, you know, when I think of Tokyo, you think of the tall skyscrapers, and I wonder about green space. Is there any green space?
A lot of parks.
A lot of parks. What was that like?
A lot of parks. Japanese gardens are, if you haven't, some of the most beautiful gardens ever. They have a big, you know, you heard of the Japanese maple tree and stuff of that. So a Japanese maple. But they have the best cherry blossoms going on in Japan. And
better than Washington, D.C.?
Oh, better than Washington, D.C. It's just everything is about a line and everything is clean.
It's orderly.
And orderly. And it's just
precise.
like when you go there, you're like, oh, my God, if I didn't have this language barrier, then it would be something different. But for me, it's all about they love us. All you got to do is smile, basically. You know, smile.
Well, speaking of the language barrier, how did you get along? I mean,
Google Translate.
Okay. Look, put your phone.
You speak
Google Translate. You
back.
speak into it, and if you don't know how to speak it, you can just put in, and it has connotation in there, and then you just give it to them. Connotation, excuse me.
So you never felt like, I can't get around because I don't understand.
You should never feel handicapped because you don't know a language.
And I think, you all ladies tell me that. I mean, I think that for me, that's probably one of the reasons why I never wanted to go, because of the language barrier. I don't have, what is that, Rosetta Stone? Is that Rosetta Stone? Or all those, you know, I just never have been interested in going before.
Well, I think...
But you're presenting it in a totally different way.
Well, it's open to, you know, look, life is for the living.
Life is for the living.
And you can sit here and be in wherever and just sit and say, oh, I wish I coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. And
you should just do. So get your plane, get your ticket. You don't need a visa to go to Tokyo. You need a visa to go to Vietnam, but not Tokyo. And all you can do is just, you know, once you get there, just explore. Yeah. But just, you know, for what I do is I always say, okay, let's Google the top 10 places to visit in Tokyo. Yeah. And then I look at what's the music scene. I always look at the top museums. I always look at the top, you know, travel places. And then I'm looking for underground places. So I Googled the Brooklyn of New York in Tokyo. Yeah. And it had a section, Dakayama. Yeah. And that's how I found out about Dakayama. And I went to Dakayama and I was just like, okay, this is the Brooklyn of Tokyo. And all the little shops, all the little coffee houses, the energy was totally different in that place. And it made sense. And then the people was just different. They had a different vibe to them from the regular suits. You didn't see the suited guys in that particular order. And so I'm always adventuring out. And I'm okay with riding a train because I ride a train in New York. Right. So it's easy for me. Once I learned the train system, it's automatic. And then, therefore, it just takes you any and everywhere you want to do. And then sometimes I miss my stop on purpose to see where it would take me. And then I just cross the platform and come back. And then, therefore, I can see. So that's what's going on. That's what's happening. That's how I travel, you know.
What was your favorite meal? Because, you know, you talked about food a little bit. And you said you ate everything. Like, if you could do, like, a love letter to Tokyo. And you would say, Tokyo, thank you for my trip. Thank you for favorite food. What was it?
One of my favorite, one, because I had 14 days of good breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Was at the Trunk Hotel, which is in.
And we didn't say Trump.
No, Trunk.
No, Trunk.
Okay. Hotel.
Just want to be clear.
It's a boutique hotel in Tokyo. It's similar to like a Mondrian or Delano in Miami, for those who know. But it's called the Kitchen at the Trunk Hotel. And they had this eel that tastes like butter.
See, when you say eel, it just sounds nasty.
Well, that's just because you had bad eel.
No, she's never had eel.
I've never had
eel or whatever. Yeah. It's just the eel that they had, and then they had these octopus balls with this cream. Oh my God! You don't even understand.
I'm sold.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
But they don't do bad food.
Yeah.
See, the connotation you're under is like, oh my God, it's gonna taste funny, it's nasty, it's whatever. Like, no, you got to expand your palate. You always have to try to do. I don't eat at chain restaurants.
Right.
So, if I ate at a Red Lobster, or if I ate, and I hate to say this, at Applebee's or whatever, I don't do that. I just, when I left that, I left that. That was
you
college.
really started loving the way you live through food.
It was just, I've always experimented and always tried different things, and so that's the only way you're gonna grow your palate.
Well, give me like your best tip for someone who wants to go.
Do your homework, study the culture, study how to get around. Like if you know where you want to be, and then like we have Facebook today,
right?
You have Instagram, so you can always hashtag Tokyo,
and information will come up.
Stuff will come up.
Yeah,
you can hashtag on Facebook Tokyo sites, hotels. You can then, even when you go into your Facebook and you put hashtag Tokyo, it'll show you your friends who went to Tokyo who's on Facebook. Wow. And then you can just send them a note and say, hey, where to stay?
Where'd you go?
Where should I stay? Where should I go? Get a couple of points that are landing points for you. And then from there, create your own memory.
I love it.
And that's the way I travel. And that's why I'm always like experimenting. But I'm adventurous. I like to get up. Sometime I'm there. When I first did, I was jet lagged. So I was like, that first morning was a little struggle. Yeah. But after I got past that struggle, then I was just like, okay, let's go hit it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Sounds and everything. Everything was good,
So when someone gets ready to travel, one of the biggest things that I think I saw on Instagram was, before you took off, you had 2 bags, carry-ons.
2 carry-ons.
And I'm thinking, how do you travel for 2 weeks with 2 bags and 2 carry-ons and you never checked any bags in?
I didn't. I did have to check that bag between when I got in Vietnam. But I didn't... only because you had to check a bag. Yeah. You had to check it because it was just that regional airline. But we were right there once you got off the bag to get your bag. And the thing about that was it's wintertime, so it's November. And so Tokyo was cold like New York, but then I was going south to Vietnam and Hong Kong, so that was warm. So I had to have 2 different type of clothing. So, excuse me. I always wear my heaviest outfit on the plane.
That's
Whether
a great
be the heaviest shoe, the heaviest coat, whatever. And I take that with me, so therefore that leaves room in the bag. And then I'm always about making sure that nobody knew me in Tokyo. Okay,
right.
That's number 1. So you can repeat items. Okay. The only thing you need to have is clean underwear. I'm a guy, so it's a little guy. It's different for me.
Yeah.
Women always say, "I need my perfume. I need my cologne. I need I need my makeup. No, you don't.
Yeah.
First of all, you're on vacation.
Relax. Don't do what you do at home.
Exactly.
Traveling.
And it always depends on your vacation. So Tokyo is similar to New York, so it's urban. So I knew my look would be more urban than it would be more resort wear as far as beaches and stuff of that. So I knew equivalently what I was wearing on the plane, I would be wearing in New York. So I had a turtleneck on with, tech wear pants with, black on black. So it worked, So once I got off,
Black Lives Matter.
It was there, so that worked. And then I just layer that with, I have 2 pair of pants and a jean. Keep the same color scheme. Do not wear brown, blue, gray, black, yellow, pink. Don't do all of that. Just limit your wear. You don't have to bring your whole closet with you.
Well, as women, how do you tell women? I mean, like you went with some friends.
Do your braids.
What about
Just braid your hair. Number 1. Boom. That takes the hair product situation out of the equation. You don't need makeup because nobody cares.
Nobody's looking at you.
Nobody looking at you like that. You looking at yourself. Nobody knows you.
Ladies, how it takes us like 30 minutes to put our makeup on and go down to nowhere.
Everybody's like, oh my God, I need it. But why bring stuff when you go shop when you're there?
Right.
So leave your bags empty, so then therefore you can buy some stuff and put it in your bag to come on back with.
Great.
And if you got to shop, if you got a check coming back, that's okay.
Right.
But you want to be nimble, because the bottom line is you're going to a place you don't know. They do everything from a different perspective. It's mostly urban, so it's always trains.
Right.
Cabs were expensive. Uber is expensive because there's not a lot of Ubers. The cab is cheaper than Uber in Tokyo.
Okay.
So I took cabs because I stayed in the business district, and then just kind of like took the train over to Shibuya and Shinjuku. Once I knew exactly where everything was, which was about $1.70 on the train, and versus cab, which was like $15 in the cab if you took a ride in the cab. So you had to think about it from that perspective and how long you wanted to, how much you wanted to spend. So I would always just take the train during the day and cab back at night if I was doing something like that.
I like the information that you talked about, just being nimble, because once you get there, do you then say, I kind of have an idea of where I want to go, but once you get there, you change your mind.
See, look, when I got over there and I opened up that map, the Google Maps, and I started seeing where I was like, you know what? I could go to Malaysia, I could go to Cambodia, I could be in Singapore, I could Shanghai. You just start running them off, and you're like, what if I want to extend my day? But how am I going to do all that with all this luggage?
Right.
And I'm carrying all that. So you don't want all that luggage. You just want your backpack and a bag that you can carry with you and go.
I love it.
And if you do that, then first of all, if you don't have to worry about checking so many places, you don't have to worry about, you're going on vacation to relax, not to worry about all your stuff.
Right.
And so just relax and just put on the same thing. Women, it's easy for women. My girl G, when we met in Vietnam, she had a backpack. She came with a backpack in her purse.
Okay. She
had roll-up dresses. All she did was just roll dresses that she could roll that was knitted.
Yeah, like cotton.
Athletic wear is big now, so you could just wear a nice athletic dress from Athletica or from Lululemon. You don't have to wear heels because you're walking everywhere. So you wearing your flats or your sandals because it was a warm weather climate. Stuff of that nature. You do not overdress, do not overpack. People put too much into it, and you don't have to do all of that. And then I'm not traveling, to stay in a hotel.
Right.
So I don't need to do the dinners at the Four Seasons. People always posting up, I'm at the Four Seasons in Dubai. I'm at the Four. Who cares? Really, you just spent too much money. For me, the way I look at it, I'm just traveling. I want to get there and have the experience of the country.
Yeah, so experience the country the way the people who live there do.
Yeah, so if I want to get on the train and go to Kyoto for the day, boom, do that. Go up to Mount Fuji, do that. Go to Hiroshima, do that. You can do all of that. And their train system is so efficient that if you have one little backpack, you can roll.
I love it.
And that's what you can do. And then you can get you a hotel in another city or place and have your little backpack with you with your little paraphernalia, your toiletry bag, and that's all you need.
What about hotels? How did you go about determining where you were going to stay? Did you do like an Orbitz or Travelocity?
I did TripAdvisor. I did Orbitz. But like I said, I first started with asking people who had been to Tokyo before, where did you stay and what neighborhoods were good to stay in, what were fun neighborhoods, and neighborhoods people knowing me. So I'm always saying, you know me. What's my personality and where I need to be? I don't need to be in the Intercontinental. I don't need to be in the W. I do that.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Right, you're like, I could do the Four Seasons
and all of that. But I did a business hotel downtown. It was cheap.
Now, what's a business hotel?
I've never heard of it. It was a business hotel. I'm downtown in the business district.
Oh, in the business district. I got
where nobody is there come the weekend. So it's cheap.
I get you. That's a
nice hotel.
That's a good tip.
But you're not in it, and I can just take the train $1.70 to it, and you get into it and you save that way.
I love it.
Because my whole ticket round trip for $1,400 was like $1,500.
Oh, that's not bad at all to go to all those places.
All those places.
Wow.
$1,500.
Wow. Well, in closing, what is the best thing that you did there that helped you to continue to love the way that you live?
Be at peace.
Yeah.
No, good food. Good food is a must. Like I came back, I was really Tokyo sold me. And what I mean by that is I have downloaded from the fashion to the food. I came back to New York and I was like, hey, I need the top 20 Japanese restaurants.
Nice.
And I was looking at them and I was like, oh, okay, there are 2 in my neighborhood. I didn't even in Harlem. Two in Harlem. And I was just like, okay. And then I was just looking at different stores. But I'm really going to study their culture like they study us.
Interesting.
And that is, I think, You know, when you can go and see the world from a different perspective. And it just gave me a different creativity, gave me a different approach to life and how I wanted to see things and what I do with my business and how I can navigate my business. And then also too, just how you don't have to be, well, I'm not at, you know, bouncing off walls,
Right.
but it just really showed, you know, it really comes down to how you live your life and how you present things in life, because they showed me how to present
I love
in a
it.
way that I have never seen. Just everything is special about that place.
Wow. So where
So
we going?
definitely, I would definitely say it would be my landing spot for Asia on my next trip.
I love
so
it.
when I go back next year, Tokyo will be my last spot coming back because I would love to shop.
Nice.
So I will go to the Philippines and I'll probably go to Malaysia, and then I would go there and then come back to America because of just what I know about it and spending that time.
I feel so soothed and peaceful and just, you know, like I'm ready to go. Ladies, are we traveling? Are we ready? Are we ready? Can you pack with one bag?
Charlie, tell the folks how they can stay in touch with you and connect with you, sir.
Definitely on all my social media channels.
Yes.
Love the Way You Live Facebook, Love the Way You Live Instagram with Charlie Lewis, and also on Twitter. And you can also go to charlielewisnyc.com and you can continue to watch all my episodes, past episodes, as well as the new episodes, and continue to love the way you live. So until next time, continue to celebrate life and love the way you live.
Let the sun shine. 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 Let the sun shine.